Good day one and all. Welcome to the sixth lecture for the course I-306 Supply Chain and Logistics Management. I am Matthew Baby, Assistant Professor with the Department of Mechanical Engineering. In this lecture, we'll be dealing with the topic Achieving Strategic Fit. This will be the first part towards the lecture that deals with achieving strategic fit. So in this particular lecture, we would discuss what competitive strategies are, what are the different kinds of functional strategies in an organization, and how the functional strategies should support one another and the competitive strategy of the organization so that we end up with strategic fit. So this will be the first of many lectures towards the topic achieving strategic fit. So for any organization, there will be a strategy called competitive strategy. It is nothing but the way a company seeks to satisfy its target customers' needs through its products and services in comparison or in relation with its competitors. Okay, so any organization is involved in producing products or services to meet the needs of a certain set of customers. They will have a particular strategy using which they try to compete against their competitors. Okay, so a set of target customers are people who have similar needs. So a target customer is basically a set of people who an organization tries to serve or meet their needs. And generally, target customers are people with similar priorities. Okay, we call them as a market segment. So the details about market segmentation, this is basically a part of the course ME368 Marketing Management, which was offered as an elective during the 6th semester. So you can segment or you can divide the market based upon various criteria. Okay, so any organization will have a certain market segment that they try to satisfy needs. So that these sets of market segments together we call them as target customers, and the target customers for a particular product that a particular company tries to sell, the target customers, they will have the certain specific priorities. So it is basically how the organization see to satisfy those target customers needs in relation with their competitors. So it's basically one or two features or one or two characteristics based upon which they try to compete, and that particular way is what we refer to as a competitive strategy. So different target customers have different priority. Some customers prioritize cost, some prioritize delivery time. For them, what is important is timely delivery, okay, even at the expense of cost. Some prioritize convenience of purchase, some give importance to quality, some give importance to variety, functionality, features of a product, etc. So different customers have different priorities. Okay, and the same set of customers will also be delivered products from other organizations. So the other organization will satisfy those target customers needs by focusing upon certain aspects or certain elements which the target customers prioritize. So some customers might have prioritized cost and quality and variety. Okay, they might have multiple priorities. So one of the organization that tries to satisfy that particular target customer's need might give more importance to cost. Okay, whereas the organization that we are currently considering, okay, that organization might try to give more importance to quality. So different companies serving the same market, serving the requirements of the same market segment or target customers might opt to do or opt to satisfy that particular need, giving more importance to certain other priorities of the customer when compared to the competitor. And that is what we refer to as a competitive strategy. For example, take the case of mobile phones. Okay, say mid-tier mobile phones or mid-range mobile phones which are moderately priced. Okay, so take the examples of two manufacturers, Samsung and Realme. So these are two different manufacturers which serve the same set of customers, okay, who want a mid-tier mobile phone, smartphone. Now both these companies give priority to different aspects. Okay, Samsung basically gives priority to making sure that the product is highly available, so they make the products available online and offline so that customers have a wider choice or convenience of purchase. Okay, they give importance to good quality and gently price their products at a moderate to high price in that particular segment. Okay, whereas Realme has a different competitive strategy. Okay, they focus their efforts upon giving products of moderate quality at low prices. Okay, but they compromise upon availability. So they generally only sell their products through online and flash sales. So offline purchase uh, is generally not available for Realme products. So their focus is basically to provide moderate or decent quality products in the mid-tier smartphone segment at a lower price when compared to Samsung. So that is how they are trying to compete with Samsung. Okay, they are not trying to compete with Samsung based upon quality and making sure that the products are highly available. Okay, so these two different smartphone manufacturers producing mid-tier smartphones, they have two different strategies. Okay, another example is a case with of automotive manufacturers like Hyundai and Maruti. So Hyundai, on one hand, they give importance to good quality of their products, larger variety of options to select from. So they have a wide variety of drivetrains to choose from. So that they have for a given model, they have a large number of engine options, large number of gearbox options. Along with that, they have a large number of selection of trim options. Okay, so models. Whereas but at the same time, Hyundai charges a slightly premium price when compared to Maruti. Whereas on the other hand, Maruti tries to compete based upon price. Okay, that is their key competitive strategy. So lower price, but at the same time, they have to reduce or cut short the variety of drivetrain options, and they only provide reasonable amounts of quality. The quality of the parts used are not as high as Hyundai. So you see that these two companies have two different competitive strategies. So companies or organizations serving the same target customers or same set of customers, they prioritize different customer needs. Okay, and based upon which they try and serve or they try and design and deliver products to the customer. Now that we have understood what competitive strategy is, in achieving strategic fit, we are trying to align or find an alignment between a company's competitive level strategy and its functional strategies. So in an organization that is involved in producing products or services, there are lots of functions that help the company develop and deliver the products and services to the customers. Okay, and at each stage or at each function level, generally value is being added to the product or service. So there exists what is called as a value chain in an organization, which is nothing but a sequence of processes or functions which add value to the product or service that is delivered to the customers. Okay, so these functions, these value adding functions, they include the new product development. Okay, so the new product development is one of the functions. The second function is marketing and sales, they add value. Okay, then operations, distribution and service, these are the functions which add value to a particular company's products or services. Okay, so in in carrying out these functions, there are certain other functions need to be performed, and these functions are what we term as support functions. Now, support functions generally do not add value to a particular product or service that is being developed by a company. Rather, they support the functions which develop value. Okay, so support functions include finance and accounting, okay, and IT, information technology, and HR, human resources. So we'll see what the roles of these different functions are in creating value for a particular organization. Okay, so it starts off with new product development, where a company decides its product portfolio, the set of products that it is going to develop. Okay, it also specifies the product specification, what should be the product like, its basic features, its basic size, shape, etc. So the new product development is generally involved in specifying the product portfolio and the product specifications. Okay, the next function that adds value in the that's as part of the value chain is the marketing and sales department. Now this department is concerned, or this particular function is concerned with generating demand by publicizing. Okay, they transfer or transmit information about a particular company's product, its product range or product portfolio, to potential customers, thereby generating demand. At the same time, they also help in bringing in customer input with regards to their requirements. Okay, so customer input with regards to requirements, as well as generating demand by publicizing information regarding a company's products, is what marketing and sales does. That's the second that's second function that's part of the value chain. The third function is operations, and this is where actually the transformation of input to output according to the product specifications that are developed by the new product development function takes place. So in the operations function, you have actual conversion of inputs into outputs. Okay, and the next value adding function is the distribution function, which brings the products to the consumer or consumer to the product. Okay, so it's involved in delivering the products which are manufactured in the operations function to the customers, or bringing the customers to the product. Okay, and the final value adding function in the value chain in an organization is service. Here the service function is involved in meeting customer requests, that is during the sale and after sales. Okay, so after sale, if there is any issue with regard to the performance of a product, or any issue with regard to the working of a product, as well as any request regarding products during customer order. Okay, like information regarding the product availability, the product trim range, the prices, etc. So all those queries, they are also handled by this particular function. So these are the functions. So each function that is part of the value chain in an organization, they have their own functional level strategies. Okay, in order to carry out their functions or their particular fundamental objectives, they will have a particular way of carrying out activities, a particular set of resources which they use in a particular fashion so that they can achieve their own objectives. So each function having their own objectives. Okay, they are involved in a certain involved in carrying out certain activities. So they have an objective, every function. So in order to achieve that particular objective that a function is required to carry out, they have, or they develop their own strategies. So these strategies are what we refer to as functional strategies. Okay, so we have talked about organizations' competitive strategy and function level strategies, and it is very, very essential that these functional strategies, they support one another. Okay, one functional strategy should not impair the functional strategy of another, or it should not influence or interfere or negatively impact the working of another function. Okay, all the strategies developed by all the functions should be developed in such a fashion that they support one another in achieving the organization's competitive objective. Okay, their primary focus should not be achieving their individual level or individual functional level objectives, but rather they should give importance to uh, the competitive objective of the entire organization. Okay, as well as they should be in such a fashion that they support or they do not impede the working of other functions. So all the above functions, okay, right from new product development, then marketing and sales management, you have operations, you have distribution and service. Okay, all these value adding functions, they play a key role in executing a company's competitive strategy. Okay, so their competitive strategy, the company's competitive strategy, okay, that is achieved by the functions carrying out its objectives, or fulfilling its objectives through their own functional level strategies. So in order to achieve a company's competitive strategy, every function that is part of the value chain must develop its own strategies. Okay, and the strategies, as I told you, they should be supportive of other functional strategies. At the same time, they should be in alignment, or they should aid the company or organization in achieving its uh, competitive strategy. Okay, so strategy is nothing but a process that it will try and perform particularly well. Okay, so every function will have a certain sets of processes that it will try and carry out. So the sets of processes that it will try and perform especially well, that particular notion is what we refer to as a strategy. Okay, so different functions will have different strategies. For example, product development, the function called new product development will have a strategy called the product development strategy, where decisions regarding the portfolio of new products to be developed, okay, which are the range of products to be developed, what will be the range of products that the company deals with, okay, and also decisions regarding execution, whether the new product development will be carried out internally or whether it will be outsourced to another agency for new product development. So decisions regarding these are taken as part of the product development strategy. Okay, the marketing and sales function, they have their own strategy called marketing and sales strategy, and in this strategy, decisions regarding the market segmentation, okay, how the markets are divided based upon similarity in customer characteristics. We a set of people with similar a set of customers with similar demand characteristics, they fall under a single market segment. So decisions regarding how markets are segmented, how do we position our product in the market, okay, are we going to compete upon price, okay, are we going to compete upon quality, variety, okay, availability. So how do we position our particular product? Okay, nothing but placing the product in the minds, how we place a product in the minds of the customer, that's called as positioning. Decisions regarding what will be the price and the decisions regarding promotion. So decisions regarding all these are part of the marketing and sales strategy. Okay, the supply chain strategy is another functional strategy where decisions regarding the procurement of raw material, its transportation, subsequent storage, okay, manufacturing or conversion of these raw materials to products, the distribution of the manufactured products and follow-up services, along with decisions regarding whether these actions need to be carried out internally or outsourced. For example, a company might decide to outsource its manufacturing to another organization that can do that particular activity much better. Okay, for example, distribution might be outsourced. So different parts of this particular decision making process might be done internally, or it might be decided that it might be given outside as a contract. Okay, so these decisions are basically part of what is called as supply chain strategy. Supply chain strategy basically involves decisions which are in regard with functions like operations, the functional like distribution and service. So decisions regarding the aspects that are part of the functions, operations, distribution and service are part of the supply chain strategy. So the supply chain strategy is basically a combined strategy that is applicable to the distribution function, the operations function and the service function. Okay, so it is basically an integrated strategy for these three different functions. So as I told you earlier, in achieving strategic fit, all the functional strategies must support one another and the competitive strategy of the organization. Okay, to illustrate how functional strategies can support one another and the competitive strategy of the organization, I have taken an example for the example of 7-Eleven Japan. Okay. So now this is basically an organization which is involved in a retailing business. Okay. So their marketing team, their competitive strategy as a whole is to basically ensure that customers have convenience or easy access to products, at the same time also ensuring high variety of products. Okay. So their competitive strategy is to make sure that uh, convenience, they give importance to convenience, at the same time access to a wide range of products and services. So this is what their competitive strategy is for 7-Eleven Japan. So in achieving this particular competitive strategy, as I told you, all functional strategies must be tailored or should be created in such a fashion that they help achieve this particular competitive strategy. Okay. At the same time, the functional strategies must support one another. So here, in order to achieve 7-Eleven Japan's competitive strategy, different functions have developed their functional level strategies. For example, marketing. The marketing, sales and marketing function, they developed a functional strategy where they give importance or emphasize upon convenience, easy access, and they also propagate material. Okay, marketing communication material, which also emphasizes on availability of wide range of products and services. So marketing for 7-Eleven Japan, their marketing function gives emphasis on communicating convenience and high availability of wide range of products and services. That is what they try to communicate. Okay, whereas the new product development is basically uh, a function that basically tries and augments or support the claims that are made by the marketing function. So the marketing function, it is involved in communicating convenience and availability. So the new product development function should always ensure that they keep on adding to the wider range of products. Okay, so they are constantly involved in adding products and services. For example, bill payment. Okay, instead of not really buying groceries and other items from the 7-Eleven stores, the new product development also has added functions or services like bill payment. Okay, this is by exploiting its already existing excellent information infrastructure and high customer visit count. Okay, generally large number of customers come into these 7-Eleven Japan stores. Okay, and this addition of a new facility in the form or new service in the form of bill payment, okay, that has resulted in increased demand. So they added to the existing products and services by adding another service called bill payment. So customers who walked in to purchase a particular item can also use that particular time to make certain bill payments. Okay, so this is done by exploiting its already excellent information infrastructure and its already high customer visit count. Okay, the next function is operations and distribution, which is part of the supply chain. Okay, so their strategy is to focus upon having larger number of stores, okay, and being very responsive and provide excellent information infrastructure. So this excellent information infrastructure and their focus upon having larger number of stores, because the marketing team emphasizes or basically communicates convenience. For a customer to have convenience, it is essential that he he has access to a 7-Eleven store nearby. Okay, that means having larger number of stores. So in order to support this marketing strategy and to support the company's or organization's competitive strategy, the operations and distribution function, they tailor their strategy towards focusing upon having larger number of stores open, being very responsive to customer requests, and providing excellent information infrastructure. And this is generally done by exploiting the increase in demand due to new product development. So new product development, they once they keep on adding new services, generally to use these services, new customers come in. So this increased footfall of customers and increased revenue generated from that is basically used to opening up new stores, okay, improving responsiveness of its supply chain and improving its existing information infrastructure. So as you can see, different functional level strategies are in support of one another. At the same time, they are aiding the company meet its competitive strategy or achieve its competitive strategy. Okay. So in general, in achieving strategic fit, the following things must be accomplished. Okay. The first thing that needs to be accomplished is that the functional strategies or the functional level strategies must be in support of one another and also should support the competitive strategy of the organization. Okay. Also, the different functions should structure their processes and resources in an appropriate fashion so that they can execute their strategy successfully. So not only should the functions develop strategy that support one another and the competitive strategy, they should uh, structure their function level processes or functional level activities and functional resources in an appropriate fashion so that they can execute their functional level strategy successfully. Okay, and primarily and most importantly, out of these different functional strategies that we have talked about, what is very important is the supply chain strategy. So specifically in achieving strategic fit, there should be proper design of supply chain and the roles of each stage of a supply chain must be aligned to support the supply chain strategy. Okay, specifically in the functional strategy called supply chain strategy, what is very important is that to achieve the supply chain strategy, the design of supply chain stages, okay, where we talk about which are the stages involved, okay, and the role of each stage. What are each stage, what are the functions of each stages in that particular supply chain? They must be properly decided so that they are there or designed to support the supply chain strategy. So in achieving strategic fit, the following things must be, or the above mentioned things must be achieved. So as an example of how a company's supply chain strategy was modified to match its new competitive strategy, we take the example of Dell. Okay, so this is basically a very classic example that is quoted across different supply chain and logistics management textbooks. Okay, so you come across this example across various textbooks. This is a very classical example of how a company changed its supply chain strategy to achieve its modified competitive strategy. Okay, so prior to 2007, Dell was basically trying to be competitive by providing a large variety of customizable products at reasonable prices. So their competitive strategy was providing larger variety of customizable products at reasonable prices. And to aid this particular competitive strategy, the supply chain was designed to be very responsive because they had to deal with a variety of customizable products. They were not dealing with standard products in large quantities, but rather they were dealing with custom products for customers according to their specific requirements. That meant that the supply chain had to be responsive enough or had to be tailored to be responsive so that they can mm, they can meet this varied demand by customers. Okay, at the same time this particular product has to be provided at a reasonable price. So in the supply chain, in order to make it highly responsive, what they did is their operations, okay, their manufacturing strategy, the company Dell directly owned these assembly lines for manufacturing, okay, and they were designed to be very flexible to cater to a wider variety of customer requirements. Okay, that is their operational level strategy or operation strategy, which is basically part of supply chain strategy. Then their new product development strategy, uh, it focused upon all products being designed to use common components. So this meant that lower amounts of inventory had to be used. That meant that the prices could be kept at a reasonable level. So if they had designed the products to use different components, then larger variety of items or components had to be or would have been required to be kept in inventory, leading to larger costs. So the new product development in helping the company achieve its competitive strategy of a reasonable price, what they did is they developed all products to use common components. Okay, at the same time, this also will help it rapid assembly, so that the time from a customer order to delivery that can be kept to a minimum. Okay, at the same time, in achieving this particular competitive strategy, the supplier level strategy was also different. Okay, they chose suppliers who were responsive, because the customers requirements changed, their component requirement also changed. So the suppliers should also had to be very, very responsive to meet or cater towards these varied needs. Okay, since 2007, the company changed its competitive strategy. Rather than focusing upon delivering variety of customizable products, they changed their competitive focus to low cost and low variety. Okay, where they started to sell their products to resellers. So their competitive strategy also started to focus upon products which were lowly customizable. The amount of customization was very low, so they reduced their product variety, and they also wanted to compete based upon cost. And for achieving this particular competitive strategy, the entire supply chain was designed to be very, very efficient. So when compared to prior to pre 2007, okay, where it was designed to be a responsive, post 2007 or since 2007, the supply chain was designed to be much, much more efficient. Okay, the operation strategy was made to stock, with production being outsourced to a company called Foxconn. So Foxconn, instead of the operation strategy where the assembly lines were owned by the Dell prior to 2007, since 2007, to keep the cost low, they outsource this particular manufacturing operation of their products to a company that could do this particular activity at a much lower cost. So they were made to stock. Okay, they produce items in large quantities, whereas in pre 2007 they were only manufactured once a customer placed order. Okay, so here it was made to stock, here it was made to order. And supply strategy was also different. Rather than focusing upon supply being highly responsive, since the strategy was basically for suppliers, the competitive strategy was basically to have products of low cost. Okay, what they focused upon was suppliers who could deliver their required components at the lowest possible cost. Okay, but ensuring moderate level of responsiveness. So suppliers were chosen based upon low cost and moderate responsiveness. Okay, so this is how a company modified its various function level strategies, okay, specifically the supply chain strategy, so that it could achieve its competitive strategy. So you can see a change in competitive strategy, and how this change in competitive strategy was uh, followed by, or basically aided by, a change in different functional strategies. So in achieving strategic fit, in bare essence, there are three basic steps. Okay, so these are the basic steps involved in achieving strategic fit. So we start off by understanding the customer needs and the supply chain uncertainty that we are facing. Okay, so first we start off by understanding what the target customers, who our target customers are, what their needs are, and how their needs, there are certain demand characteristics of these customers that basically pose or impose certain uncertainties on the supply chain. So we start off by understanding the customer needs and how their need characteristics or demand characteristics imposes uncertainty in the supply chain. So this will help a company as a whole to determine the cost and service level requirements, as well as the unpredictability in demand and supply that the supply chain must be prepared for. So once you can have an estimate of what will be the level of uncertainty that is imposed upon the supply chain, then you will also be able to uh, tailor your supply chain, or basically structure your supply chain in such a fashion that you can deal with this particular unpredictability. So uncertainty in the supply chain is imposed upon by the needs of the target customers. Okay, at the same time there are certain supply uncertainties as well. So taking into consideration uncertainty on the supply chain due to demand uncertainty and supply uncertainty, this particular uncertainty assessment will basically help a company determine or basically prepare a supply chain, help you prepare a supply chain to meet these unpredictabilities in demand and supply. Okay. The second step, once we understand what the understand what the customer needs and needs are and their supply chain uncertainty, the second step is understanding the supply chain capabilities. Okay, we should know what the current supply chain is designed to do well. Okay, is our supply chain, the current existing supply chain that is used by an organization, designed to be efficient, or is it designed to be responsive, or is it designed to be uh, in moderation of both? Okay, so we should understand what the current supply chain's capabilities are. Now once we have done that, the last and final step in achieving strategic fit is achieving strategic fit, where if there exists a mismatch between the customer needs and the supply chain's capability, we try and modify the supply chain to support the competitive strategy or alter the competitive strategy altogether. Okay, so there will exist some kind of mismatch between the supply chain capability, okay, and the customer needs. So what customer needs are, okay, and what the current supply chain's capabilities are, that might not always match. And if there is a mismatch between these two, then it is up to the organization either to modify the supply chain to support its customers needs, okay, specifically its competitive strategy, or as a alternative they can modify their competitive strategy altogether, so that they don't have to modify their existing supply chain. Okay, so these are the basic 3 steps involving achieving strategic fit. We start off by understanding the customer and the customer needs along with the supplier and the supply characteristics, so that we can determine the level of uncertainty imposed upon the supply chain. Okay, so understanding customers, suppliers, and supply chain uncertainty. The second step is understanding the supply chain's capabilities, the current existing supply chain's capabilities. And the final step is to basically compare the the customer requirements, okay, and the current supply chain capabilities, and finding out if there is a mismatch. And if there is a mismatch, it is all about modifying the supply chain to support the competitive strategy or altering the competitive strategy, or modifying both. That can also be another strategy where you can alter both by a certain degree so that they will achieve a certain level of fit. So these are the basic steps involved in achieving strategic fit. Thank you.